Thomas Edison once said, "I've not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." These words from one of the greatest inventors of all time lay the foundation of our discussion today, the inevitability of failure. Failure, my friends, is not a detour. It's an integral part of our journey. Imagine a world where everything you attempt works perfectly the first time around. Would it be a utopia? Or would it rob us of the chance to learn, to grow, to innovate? The latter seems more likely. The road to success is paved with the stones of failure. Every person who has tasted success, from the inventors who have shaped our world to the entrepreneurs who have revolutionized industries, has known failure intimately. They faced it, wrestled with it, and ultimately used it as a stepping stone to reach greater heights. Think of Steve Jobs, who was ousted from his own company Apple in 1985. It was a devastating failure, but did he give up? No. Instead, he used his setback as a springboard, launching innovative companies like Next and Pixar, and ultimately returning to Apple to lead it to its present-day glory. Or consider J.K. Rowling, who was rejected by 12 publishers before her Harry Potter manuscript was finally accepted. Had she succumbed to the discouragement of those rejections, the world would have been deprived of one of its most beloved literary series. Failure, then, is not the end. It's a beginning. It's the spark that ignites the fire of perseverance, the fuel that drives us to strive harder, to reach further. But to leverage failure, we must first accept its inevitability. We must understand that it's not a stumbling block, but a stepping stone that leads us towards learning, growth, and ultimately, success. So the next time you encounter failure, don't shy away from it. Embrace it. So you failed, and it hurts, but don't wallow in it. Instead, ask, what can I learn from this? Now, I'm sure you've heard it before, but it bears repeating. Failure is not the end of the world. It's not a scarlet letter branded on your forehead. It's not a monster lurking in the shadows waiting to pounce when you least expect it. No, failure is a teacher. A strict, no-nonsense, old-school teacher with a ruler at the ready for when you step out of line. So, how do we learn from this stern teacher? Let's break it down. First, take a step back and analyze what went wrong. Was it a lack of planning? Did an unexpected obstacle throw you off course? Or perhaps you just didn't have all the information you needed to make the right decision. Whatever it was, identify it, name it, own it. Next, seek feedback. Sometimes our own perspective can be a bit narrow. We're too close to the situation, too invested in the outcome. That's why it's invaluable to get an outside perspective. Talk to mentors, colleagues, or even friends. Ask them what they think went wrong and how you could handle it better in the future. Finally, make plans to avoid similar failures in the future. The key word here is similar. You won't be able to avoid all failures, and that's okay. But by identifying what went wrong this time and seeking feedback, you'll be better equipped to navigate around similar pitfalls in the future. Remember, failure is not an enemy. It's an opportunity to grow, to improve, to become a better version of yourself. It's a stepping stone on the path to success. Each stumble, each fall is a chance to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and say, I can do better. I will do better. Each failure is a lesson. If you're not willing to fail, you're not ready to learn. Now you've learned from your failure. It's time to turn that failure into success. So how do you take that stumble, that misstep, and transform it into a victory dance? The first strategy is setting SMART goals. SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. This means your goals should be clear and specific. You should be able to track your progress. They should be realistically achievable. They should align with your larger objectives, and you should set a deadline for achieving them. But setting goals isn't enough. You need resilience to weather the storms that will inevitably come your way. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to keep going when things get tough. It's about developing a kind of mental toughness that allows you to keep your eyes on your goals no matter what obstacles you face. Now, resilience is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So don't shy away from challenges. Embrace them. They are your opportunities to grow stronger, to become more resilient, and above all, maintain a positive attitude. Your attitude determines your altitude. When you approach your failures with a positive mindset, you see them not as dead ends, but as detours on your path to success. You see them as lessons, as stepping stones, as opportunities to learn and grow. So remember, every failure is a stepping stone to success. Every time you fall, you learn something new. Every time you stumble, you gain a new perspective. Every time you fail, you come one step closer to success. Success is not a straight line. It's a winding road filled with ups and downs. But every time you navigate a bend, every time you climb a hill, every time you cross a valley, you're growing stronger, you're becoming more resilient, you're getting closer to your destination. Failure is not falling down, but refusing to get up. So rise and turn your failure into success.